Казак на связи. Да, я принял. Да, я принял. На Киев!
Кто принял этот бой, чья жизнь была игрой без правил. Всем, кто в небо взяв разгон, судьбу свою на кон поставил. Этот трек посвящается им, кто покинул наш мир молодым и уже никогда не вернется. Этот текст посвящается всем, кто ушел навсегда в 27, тем, кто в наших сердцах остается.
Всем привет! Welcome back everyone, I am Kazak, and today we are talking about something entirely different than usual. We're talking about equipment made by Classcom specifically for the contract for the Russian army. So, without wasting any more time, let's get to some context behind this. Let's start with a concept which will show up a lot more in the future videos that I do, which is the partial mobilization in Russia. The mobilization in Russia as part of the special military operation began in September of 2022 with the stated goal being to mobilize 300,000 new soldiers for the special military operation. The specific mobilization wasn't needed as much because there was a lot of volunteers joining the Russian army and fighting in the special military operation. Yet the Ministry of Defense and the Russian government decided to conduct a mobilization nonetheless. The process of demobilization itself in Russia went a lot smoother than it did in Ukraine, though there were of course still some problems, results of which we are able to talk about today. One of those results was the insufficient amount of means of individual armored protection, so body armor and helmets for the Russian soldiers. Instead of the beloved 6B45 and 6B47, a lot of soldiers would be equipped with either older equipment or equipment that has never been seen in the army before. Some of which we are going to talk about today. Leaving out some suspects like NPO SEMS, Model Monolith and Kolpak 20. Today we're talking about the equipment made by Classcom. So some context behind Classcom itself. So NPP KlASS or Classcom is a very known manufacturer of equipment for both the Russian army and the Russian National Guard. They are also the designer, the original designer of the 6B23 series of vests. When it comes to the Russian army and their modern production, Classcom is the one that has been manufacturing both the 6B50 goggles and the 6B51 joint protectors, which I have already talked about on my channel, and you should watch those videos. Other than that, Classcom provides a lot of equipment for the National Guard, including being the designer and the manufacturer of body armor systems like the Kulon and Bagari, as well as TAKTIKA and Topaz. They also make and made a lot of helmets like the TOR series and the Zesha 1-2 series. It's no surprise that Classcom would be one of the manufacturers of the equipment for the mobilization. For this reason, they specifically modified some other items made for the National Guard. Those being the Kulon VV body armor vest, TOR helmet, and the TAKTIKA modular plate carrier. All of which we are going to be talking about today. First, let's start with the Kulon VV body armor vest. Starting with its history as a body armor for the National Guard, it is basically a 6B23 vest modified for the National Guard. Some of the changes from the Army 6B23-1 include removing the neck protector, the groin or abdomen protector, and that's kind of it. The original Kulon VV did not have any MOLI UMTBS panels. It was made in a few color variants, including EMR, a funky version of EMR, which I do not think has a specific name, and MOH, or ATAC-CFG if you prefer. Interestingly, that is one of the items which dates back to the times when the National Guard was also supposed to wear EMR. Later on, a version with UMTBS panels was created specifically in ATAC-CFG. I'll put some photos of it. They are quite rare, but even with the special military operation, we could see members of the National Guard using the original EMR, no UMTBS version. So what happened then with it? Classcom took their design work on the Kulon VV and designed this, or specifically redesigned their standard National Guard version into this. It is made out of regular EMR fabric and features full UMTBS panels on front, sides and back. Originally, it also includes a carry handle on the back, which has sadly been removed on mine. So yes, this is in essence just a 6B23. Yes, the 6B23 has gone a full circle from being a vest for the Army to being a vest for the National Guard to then getting back issued to the Army. When it comes to the ballistic protection on this, some of them come with additional neck protectors which are removable. Mine did not, sadly. And when it comes to what's actually inside of it, there is both soft armor ballistic panels as well as plates. When it comes to plates, I'm pretty sure those are the standard plates, the same plates that fit a Bagari and a Korund, so Classcom's unified plates. And I am pretty sure those are BR4 steel plates, because I could not fit a standard granite plate into this vest. The pockets feel like they can fit 6B23 plates, but it's an extremely tight fit. That's kind of what I have inside of this vest right now, but it's not a easy fit to do that. Though some sellers online claim these vests use standard Ratnik plates, which is just not true. Since we are talking about a body armor vest in the modern age, the age of MOLI, the age of UMTBS PALS systems, where soldiers absolutely can place the pouches wherever they want on the vest, with some limitations of unit commanders maybe not allowing their soldiers to place pouches, for example, on the front of the vest. But more or less we are in the age where soldier can place the pouches wherever is most comfortable for him. So how about we talk about what I have on my vest and what's inside of these pouches. So as you can see, I am using mostly standard Ratnik pouches on it, but there's some twists that I wanted to mention. Let's start with this. These two pouches are not standard 6-117 pouches. This device is called 6-136, and it's a modernization of the 6-46 standard pouch for the AK magazines. Yes, the old Soviet canvas pouch has actually a designation, and it's 6-46. It was then modified into the 6-46M and then redesigned into the 6-137. Made by Zuratkul, these were issued to soldiers that were given AK-12M rifles. When it comes to the actual specifics, it's mostly just AK pouches, though I did notice these tend to hold the square shape a lot more. And there is a small pocket on the side, presumably for an oiler bottle. I've seen soldiers put tourniquets inside of it as well. I have standard pouches inside of I have standard magazines inside of them, including these standard 74M magazines. This maybe kind of exclusive to some countries, Steel 545 magazine. I have a translucent magazine as well. And transparent, I guess. Semi-transparent to be exact. Next to it, I have a medical pouch. This is not an issued Ratnik item. No, this is not a Ratnik either. But this is not an issued item. This is the Tichincom medical pouch purchased from their online store. I was wondering where this went. I have some random medication inside of it that I don't have more medical items available on hand, so I just threw in whatever I found. And this random cat tourniquet made its way inside of here. Above it I have 3 grenade pouches with the standard RGD5s. As you may notice, there is a bit of a mix when it comes to pouches. Some of them are silent, some are not. It's kind of intentional. I just wanted to have a mixed style. So these are normal, this is a silent pouch, and this is a universal pouch where I carry my SMO tourniquet. I actually want to try to place the SMO tourniquet inside of the small pocket for the oiler bottle right now, just to see if it's a viable way of storing your tourniquet, because I have never actually tried that. For a long time I was wondering what to place inside of this little pocket. I guess this is the answer. You can put an SMO tourniquet inside of it. This is gonna stay empty then. On the sides, on the right side I have nothing. On the left side, random replica radio pouch that I got for free with a winter jacket, and a Baofeng UV 5R inside of it. That's really it when it comes to what I run on this vest. Some other features that I feel are worth mentioning. Right here on the shoulders, this is also redesigned from the 6B23. If you happen to have a 6B23 on hand, you can notice that the shoulder panels have a bit of fabric sewn vertically. That is made specifically to stop the wear on the regular vest fabric from carrying your load-bearing equipment, like 6-92, 6-104, 6-112, and also your rifle sling. And the Kulon, they redesigned it to be rubber. I really like this idea. The rubber feels nice, and it should stop the movement of your equipment, whatever it is, on here, and by extension it should stop the fabric from wearing off. Of course, we have adjustments right here, just like a standard modern 6B23 evolution, like a Bagari or a National Guard Kulon. When it comes to the locking mechanism for this vest, it's just a 6B23 right here, just without this, the inner cummerband, corset, whatever you want to call it, that a regular 6B23, a 6B13 or a 6B45 would have. When it comes to the insides, there's nothing pretty much to talk about. I will show photos. The vest has integrated shock absorbing panels, just as like a 6B23. So the next item that I would like to talk about is the TOR L helmet, and the TOR line of helmets specifically. With the evolution of the National Guard, they have been going away from heavy armored visor helmets like the Zesha 1-2M, and more so into the more tactical space when it comes to the helmets, like thus creating the TOR line, made by Classcom, For the National Guard, the TOR features very good protection based mostly on other foreign helmets, but with specific Russian characteristics. So when it comes to some defining features on how you actually recognize whether the helmet you're looking at is a TOR L or not, we have to talk about the ears. As you can see, the angle of the ear is a lot steeper than any MICH or ACH helmet. I'll throw some photos on the screen as a reference, probably from my own collection, might I add. That is the most defining feature of the TOR, but it only works if you're looking at the TOR M or a TOR L, because the high-cut TOR S does not have ear protection at all. Another good way is the front mount. The night vision shroud is exclusive. This night vision shroud is exclusive to Classcom. It is, as some of you may see, it is similar to the Armocom mount used, for example, on 6B47 helmets. But some differences between them include this very specific piece right here. There is a small piece of rubber inside of it, which is only seen on the Classcom mount. The Armocom mount does not have it. When it comes to some practical differences, there is an extremely slight difference in milling for these, like a millimeter, maybe half a millimeter difference, which means that sometimes some night vision equipment or other optical equipment you might want to mount will fit on a TOR, but will not fit on a 6B47, because the 6B47's mount shroud is ever so slightly more narrow than this one, which happens to me with my night vision. When it comes to the actual package of what Classcom made for the Russian army, it's just a regular TOR L, but with the EMR helmet cover. So let's talk about the helmet. Inside of it, the suspension system is a very modern Team Wendy style suspension with a rotating adjustment on the back of the suspension with pads inside. While we're looking inside, let me just show you the tag. I did not show the tag on the Kulon because it was removed. How to read the TOR tag, because some people are not aware. Standard information with the which is the Classcom logo, the name of the product, which is TOR, armor protection BR1. Next we can see that it is in fact TOR L by the letter, I'm trying to show it, by the letter L on the tag, and then the size 2R means size 2. Then serial number, which most of people should not care about, and then production date, which in my case is September 2023. The other features. The helmet cover is very nice, made from just regular EMR helmet cover fabric. Features Velcro for your patches of choice, in my case these. Velcro on the top for, I guess, identification, night vision beacons and whatnot, like funny lights. I don't know what tactical people use on their helmets. Additional thing that Classcom made is the cover for the battery or the counterweight, whichever you prefer to refer to it as and whatever you prefer to use it for. It's removable, it's just attached via Velcro to this. Loops to put your wiring or from your night vision to the battery pack. Regular arc rails with just standard style arc rails. Elastics for your breakaway or whatever. It is kind of exactly simple. There is no cover. The helmet cover will not cover the ears. The helmet cover does not have a flap for the night vision. But speaking of that, there was a version which does have a flap, and it was used during the 2024 Victory Day Parade. Damn it, that was terrible voice crack. And that's kind of it. I have not seen it used elsewhere. When it comes to the TOR, an often flaw with them is that the ears will be scratched up when they arrive. Mine is kind of scratched up. It's one of the least scratched up ones I've seen outside of Russia. And that is because the cover will not protect this area. Classcom has only made the TOR L into an army version, TOR M, TOR S, and the maybe popular, maybe famous, maybe infamous, however you want to refer to it, TOR 2, in both L and M variants, is exclusive for the National Guard. Please, all you LARPers, airsofters around there, please remember, only the TOR L has been used by the army officially, in official capacity. Of course, there is still a chance a soldier might open up Avita, open up Ozon, open up some other Russian marketplace, and just buys himself a nice TOR M mid-cat because he wants to use active ear protection under his helmet. And the TOR M and the TOR L, well, I've tried and I could not fit my active ear protection under it. But that is not official. That's not official capacity. Only the TOR L has been issued with this EMR cover as well. Please remember this. When it comes to its actual ballistic protection, it's rated BR1, but it is noted to be able to take more punishment than the 6B47. It stems from the genesis of both this helmet and the 6B47, as this is a helmet for the National Guard, originally designed for the National Guard, which it means it was not designed to take shrapnel, fragmentation, artillery. It was designed to stop direct hits from bullets, from criminals, from organized criminals, from terrorists. Which leads to this helmet basically being, even though it's still the same level, being stronger than the 6B47. Now, let's talk about another item, which is also made by Classcom. The production of the Kulon has stopped, because Classcom has replaced it with a different vest. The TAKTIKA modular plate carrier. Originally designed for the National Guard, as other items we're talking about today, this plate carrier has been modified specifically to be made in EMR for the Russian army. When it comes to the actual packages that soldiers receive, they usually receive the base plate carrier, the abdomen/groin protector. It's theoretically it's supposed to be a groin protector, but for tall people it's more of an abdomen protection, as it doesn't even reach the groin. There is also a neck protector, which for me I've found extremely uncomfortable. I will show some footage of it, but I really did not like it. Usually a tactical belt and suspenders, as well as STKSS. Yeah, the original National Guard version also includes additional armor modules like protection for the shoulders and protection for the hips, and maybe some other things I do not quite remember. The version for the National Guard is made in many colors, including Moch/Atax FG, Multicam, Black, Olive. Well, the version for the army is EMR. Another important thing to mention for the EMR TAKTIKA, the UMTB's webbing is not camouflage, it's solid color, which really surprises me that Classcom, knowing how Classcom is, made such a choice. But that was their choice, maybe requirement from the Ministry of Defense as well, which was the contractor for that. So now let's talk about the plate carrier itself. By its look, it's mostly a regular 6094 style plate carrier. It features a lot of UMTB's slots on the front. I will throw some photo because I already put pouches on it. There is a Velcro panel on the front for your identification, patches, or like admin pouches, and anything else you might want to have up here. Maybe a medkit if you're quirky. Side panels are present. Nothing to write home about. Feature UMTB's panels for your pouches of choice. There usually is a belt. I did not get a belt. When it comes to the actual story of why is my vest in this configuration, it is a factory reject vest that I bought for very cheap, but it only included the base vest, the groin/abdominal protection, and the neck protection module, which I'm not using. I did not get a belt, I did not get the suspenders, I did not get the STKSs, I did not get the pouches, which interestingly, the Taktika pouches do have camouflage, well, straps and accents, as I like to refer to it. Unlike the actual vest, which really makes it look like it's mixed, but it's not, it's supposed to look like that. The groin protection module is very simple, but it will protect this area. The left shoulder strap has a Fastex, which I don't really see much usage for, other than, well, in my case, for example, putting the vest on without removing my helmet, which I didn't do today because I forgot about this feature. Very nice. There is no quick release or anything on it, which really is weird in my opinion. I feel like there really should be some kind of quick release for the vest itself, like maybe a tube system or something else. When it comes to the back, we can see there is a carry handle on the top of the back panel, which is a very nice feature to help evacuate the wounded soldiers, for example. We might as well talk a little bit about the pouches that I have on it. Some of you with a keen eye might notice that these are exactly the same pouches that I put on my 6B46 plate carrier back in the video about UMTBS. I will link to this video, I believe, here. So when it comes to those actual pouches, what we have here, we have standard AK pouches, side panel for the flare. I'm carrying a flashlight inside of it right now. Right here, the remaining AK magazine pouch. I have a dump pouch in here and a backpack on the back. This setup, you might see, is quite simple. Works for me, so that's kind of what I needed to do. When it comes to the ballistic protection for this vest, it actually is quite interesting and worth mentioning. Of course, the vest comes with all sorts of soft armor panels for ballistic protection, as well as there's plates, which I wanted to highlight. What I've noticed, the Taktika vests come with either plates, come with ceramic plates made either by Classcom itself, or, interestingly, come with ceramic plates made by the Szelkowo silk weaving factory. Yes, those same exact plates that came with the KBS Strelok. It is likely the case that after the production of the KBS Strelok has ended, which I am pretty sure it did, but I could be mistaken, Szelkowo decided to manufacture more plates, and then they got issued with Classcom's Taktika vests for the soldiers. In addition, the vest will come with polymer side plates and a steel plate for the groin panel. When it comes to the features, the vest closes, in fact, with Velcro on the front, and that's kind of it. Like I said, there is no quick release, which I think is a missed opportunity to make this vest better. I'm not running any kind of belt with it. It absolutely allows to use a belt because it sits quite high, which I would prefer to have a belt to make the access to the dump pouch, for example, easier by having it lower, maybe adding like a holster or moving this pouch lower. But we're living in this kind of economy right now. I do not have a belt. I do not have an EMR belt for this, but I plan to get one at some point to finalize this kit, maybe try to get some STKSS action going on here. A very interesting design of the Classcom Taktika, I'm going to walk up to the camera to show it better, is this. There is a Fastex clip on the side, connecting the side panels, and to be specifically connecting the back panel to the front panel. which means which either helps you with the side panel, with the cummerbund, or can be used theoretically to run this vest as just front and back panel without the side panels. I'm not sure if that's a viable strategy. Well, for protection it definitely isn't, because you're at that point you're removing protection from your side at all. But it is theoretically something that can be done for a more lightweight style of setup. Now, having all that said, what do you think of Classcom as a company? What do you think of their equipment for the special military operation? I think Classcom made a great job providing both cheaper vests that can be used by the soldiers when there was a lack of better protection with the Kulon VW, but it also provided very expensive high quality equipment like the Taktika and the TOR helmets. This has led to not many soldiers using this kind of equipment, especially the TOR helmet, just because of its rarity. Most soldiers would get a 6B47 or a NPOSM's Kolpak series helmet, while the TOR was not seen as often. It is nonetheless a very good helmet. Those that got it, who, in my opinion, really should appreciate what they received for the protection capabilities of this helmet, but not for its actual military-specific usage cases. This helmet is not perfect for a military use, but neither are any of the Kolpaks. The 6B47 really beats them out in that regard. When it comes to the usage for these items, there was a weird kind of myth, which I would like to bust today, regarding the Kulon VW, specifically talking about how this vest was issued more to the naval infantry. It's anecdotal evidence. Do not base your kits around that idea. If you just think that, oh, I got a Kulon, I have to do a naval infantry kit, that's not the case. Well, I'm not really helping this when I do a naval infantry kits and I use a Kulon VW as well. But what specifically I'm talking about is that there was no preference to give the Kulon VW to the naval infantry. I will throw some photos on the screen. There are absolutely cases of the naval infantry, specifically I believe the 155th Brigade at the time, and the 40th Brigade as well, using the Kulon VW vests. But we can also find cases and reference photos of other units using the Kulon VW. It was just that for some reason it was more so distributed in that area for that unit at that time, or more so in that area at that time, which led to, for example, quite a few soldiers from the 155th Brigade having them. It doesn't mean that it was preferably issued out to the naval infantry instead of, for example, airborne units. Neither was there preference for the TOR to be issued out to naval infantry or airborne units. It's kind of, I see where this could come from. As someone would see photos, oh, I see this vest only used in the naval infantry because I did not dig up deep enough to find photos of other units using it, so I must think that this vest was exclusively used by the naval infantry, which is just not the case. It's kind of like I've noticed some time ago that at a very specific short period of time, it was maybe it was kind of over a week, it was like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I've noticed that some new coming out photos showed soldiers of the naval infantry using helmet covers on their 6B47s, whilst airborne units at the time would use a 6B47 without a helmet cover. That's absolutely not good evidence. You should not base your kit around such an idea. It was just the case, a weird anecdotal case for maybe 2 weeks, and then after that period passed, instantly there's photos of airborne units wearing helmet covers on their 6B47s. It's anecdotal evidence. Please do not believe such myths. Do not base your kits around such myths. Now, when it comes to the Taktika, I've seen it used with a couple of units, which, if you want to base your kits around such idea, you're able to base your kits around such an idea by having knowledge that this unit used this vest and not that you need to use this vest for this unit because it was only issued out to this unit. So that being said, I've noticed there were photos of the 15th Brigade, known as the Black Hussars, using these vests quite early. Well, not specifically early, but earlier than other units. And of course, there are some other units. There's naval infantry with both the 810th Brigade from the Black Sea Fleet, as well as the 40th Brigade from the Pacific Fleet. When it comes to the TOR L, it's, like I said, it's issued out at random. You can find photos of naval infantry using it, you can find photos of airborne units using it, you can find photos of the motorized units using it. It just shows up, because it is an issued helmet. There is no preference for issued equipment that airborne units need to get this and this, while naval infantry will get that and that. Those times have long gone, have long passed. We are no longer in the times of things like the 6B12-2 or the 6B28 that had preference for a specific type of a specific branch of service to be issued out to. Now let's talk about why I made this video specifically this way. So as you probably remember, or if you're new, welcome, and I really invite you to check out my older videos as well. As you've probably noticed, my older videos included mostly one item. I'm focusing on that item, making a video on that item exclusively, and that's basically the thing. Well, today we talked about 3 items made by one specific company. Why is that? Why did I decide to do that? Why did I not split this video into 3 videos? One about the Kulon, one about the TOR, one about the Taktika. These items have not been used in the army before this contract, before these contracts actually, because I'm pretty sure Kulon and Taktika come from different contracts. Stuff like the TOR, for example. I could make a video on the National Guard TOR and also the Army TOR, and it will be the same item. I just change out the helmet cover. I have an ATAC's helmet cover for this as well. There have been cases of the National Guard using the TOR L during this special military operation. I will throw that photo in on the screen. But it's not as common as some other variants. Rant, I'm getting off the topic. I need to get back to what I was talking about. These items just do not have enough history, enough reasoning to talk about it for a prolonged period of time, like I usually want to talk about in my videos. I do not want to release short videos, like, I don't know, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, to talk about the features of a vest, and then, oh, it's just a vest that is used. It was used because of mobilization. There was not enough 6B45, so they made this vest. I do not want to do that. I want to highlight more of it, but I cannot really do that with equipment like the Taktika, like the Kulon, like the TOR, just because they do not have enough history to mention, just because... Exactly, they do not have enough history to mention. Like, I mean, there were no prototype phase, there is no what was before it, what it was developed from. It's just, oh, this is a vest for the National Guard, adapted to be used by the army. And it would be a lot of repeating if I split this topic into 3 videos. I've taken a break from videos, as you've probably noticed. And during that time, I came to a different conclusion. I want to make better videos for you, because I've noticed there isn't really a need. I do not specifically need to pump out a video every single week for you. Of course, I will do my best to do that, but I cannot promise that I will always have time to make a video every single week. I have also my own private life, I have a job, I have some other things to deal with. I am going on a trip soon, which will cause me to not be in the country for a whole month, pretty much, which I don't know if I might try to record videos beforehand and then just schedule them to be uploaded at that time. But I cannot promise that it will be the case. So I want to focus on making make better quality content instead of making more videos. I could have easily split this into 3 videos. Make a video about the Kulon today, then come here next week, make a video about the TOR, or even record these videos on the same day and then just release them in 3 weeks. And I would have 3 weeks worth of content. And then what? I could probably just record 1 or 2 more videos, and then I would have enough videos to cover my whole trip abroad. But I decided that I want to make one, maybe a bit longer video about it. I really hope you appreciate this. as you probably know, this is my channel and I focus on doing what I want to do and what I like to do, which when it comes to videos on this topic, I really hate short videos. I know that sounds stupid, it probably goes against the algorithm, of the YouTube algorithm. I do not care that it goes against the YouTube algorithm, because I do not need my page to show up on the main pages for random people. I would rather have specific people that are interested in this topic find this page and get a lot of information than me pumping out short 10, 5, 6 minute videos every single week just to have a lot of videos. I would rather have one good video than 3 meh, okay-ish videos. That's basically the short version of this. So, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, share your thoughts and questions in the comments. You can check out my other videos. I suggest you to set your notifications on so you know when's the next time I upload, which hopefully will be next Friday. And I really hope to see you again next week. Bye.